Man, I just wanted to get on here and just share a little bit about my life. Um, I know on Facebook there's a lot of friends out there that I have, and a lot of people that care about me, a lot of people that might know my story, but there's also a lot of people that don't. And I just thought I'd get on here and just share a little bit about myself. Is It's funny when you share your story because you don't know where to start. But I'm going to start where the worst thing that ever happened to me was in 2020. We had the COVID year going on, and man, I made a lot of mistakes as a parent, as a father, as a business owner, probably even as a friend. I got one life, and we're chasing after what we think is the best thing for us to do. And today I'm in a place where I'm, I don't know, looking for answers, not looking for answers, but looking for time. I want time. More time with my daughter. Some of you guys might know that my son passed away in 2020. A lot of things happened in 2020 for me. And it's been 3 years now, so I could kind of think back and see how hectic it was and how hectic my life was. And, today I'm divorced, and that happened in 2022. We separated in September, and in October my son turned 15, and on the 6th and the 15th of October was the last time I talked to him, and he passed away. And yeah, it was a drug overdose. It's crazy because one day I was out shooting pool, and a guy come up to me, and we had an acquaintance of a mutual friend, and he says, "Oh yeah, I know the guy who lives in that house. His son committed suicide," and he didn't realize that I was the one who owned the house, and he was talking to some people that I was trying to do business with, and he thought they owned the house. So some of your closest people are not very close. They say things that aren't reality, and next he's telling me that yeah, my son committed suicide, but he didn't commit suicide. What he did was him and I'll just say his friends were out, and they were looking for a good time, and they were looking for some marijuana, and yeah, my son at 15, he got a hold of some marijuana. But when marijuana came legal in Oklahoma, it was in our youth, it was a pandemic. It was all over. It's easier to get marijuana. Let me turn off my phone here. It's easier to get marijuana than alcohol. I remember when I was a kid, yeah, if you got a hold of a joint, that was how would I say it? That was a good thing. A lot of people want to, but long story short, this is a rant. It's me just kind of coming on here and just wanting to share my life. And but when it came legal here, and well, not legal, but it might as well be legal. I remember my son, he was fascinated with it. He was fascinated with the process of growing marijuana. He was fascinated with, we talked about it. And me as a parent, I had to ask myself, man, am I going to be this parent that allows my son to smoke marijuana? Or am I going to be this parent that says, no, that's wrong? Just as we were growing up with alcohol. I remember going to the stores and saying, hey, will you guys go buy me this? I remember the first bottle of alcohol I had somebody, an adult, buy for me, didn't know me, was Black Velvet. And man, I got sicker than a dog. Man, I got so sick. But alcohol isn't the problem today. It is marijuana. You know, our kids are going to get high. And if, man, I hate to say this, but man, if you have that kid that's just straight and narrow and not going to do anything wrong, and you think that he's not around it, and I believe there's kids out there that won't fall into peer pressure and won't do that. Me, I was a curious kid. You know, I've always ran my own road, but I smoked some marijuana. I didn't fall into addictions. I remember the first time that it was terrible because it was with my brother, and we were in high school, and I didn't party a lot in high school, but I remember the first time I saw meth for my first time. And I remember my brother, man, he wanted me to do meth, and they broke this little light bulb off, and they put the meth in there, and they would heat it up at the bottom. We were in high school, and they would smoke it. And I remember they offered me to do some meth. And man, I thank God I did not do any meth. I thank God that he kept me safe, and I didn't run down a road that could have ended my life a lot sooner, you know. And I'm here, and I made it to 47 when I could sit there and think of all the things that could have killed me. And as for my son, I had 15 years with him, and they were great 15 years. But just like he was curious in marijuana, he couldn't get a hold of some marijuana, and he couldn't. And it's crazy because I remember having these talks with him and having to choose, what am I going to do? And at that point, at 15, I said, Josiah, I don't want to say it's okay for you to smoke marijuana. I'm not going to be a parent that says, oh, it's all right to go get high. And if you go get high, there's going to be some consequences. You're a minor. And I was trying to hold this line of what should I do, you know, and I was praying about it. And I remember having a talk with my son a week prior to his death, and I can talk about it now. It's been 3 years. And I said to him, I said, Josiah, you're 15. And I said, you have some choices to make. Check your internet connection. Well, you guys might not be hearing me. If you can still hear me, let me know. I don't even know if this is going now. I'll have to get better internet, I guess. And I told him, I said, Josiah, you're 15, in a year you're going to want to drive. And I want to get you a car, and I want to get you your independence. And I said, but I need to make sure you're making the right choices. I need to make sure you're going to do the things that you need to do. And so I want to give you some freedom. And, you know, a week later, I got a call, and he had an overdose, and he got a hold of something that he shouldn't have had. And it was given to him by a friend that didn't even know what they got a hold of. They didn't know the dangers. They thought it was Xanax, I guess. Bottom line, kids should not be able to get a hold of drugs so easy. And but they're around us. You know, you're not a perfect parent. You can't watch your kids all the time. And two of them took this drug, and talked to my daughter about it. She's now 17, and turning 17. And she told me she was supposed to do the same thing with them, but her and her brother got in a fight, and I thank God that they got in a fight, because I could have lost both of my kids that night. And you know, I thank God that the other party that was involved is here today. And this story is very close to my heart, because I'm very close to everybody that's involved in the loss of my son. But I want to start coming out and I want to share my story because I think my story, sorry, getting emotional here, needs to be said. As parents, I know my son isn't the only one who passes away because of fentanyl. And I know that my son was not the only son that died at 15. And I'm not the only parent that lost a kid. But it's hard. It's not easy. And for the last 3 years, I've ran, trying to figure it all out. And I asked God, I said, God, why did I have to go through this? Why was it my son? And I believe it's because our stories are not our own. Our stories are for people. Our stories are the things we go through will help our brothers and our sisters. And to be a little transparent is all right. To show a little bit of emotions is all right. And as you guys tune in to my story, I know this, I want to be my kid's father. I want to be here for my daughter, and that's most important is my family. And I could run after my career and be gone, or make all the money, but losing my family is not worth it. And I did. I lost my family. I lost everybody. I still have my daughter, and I can still be a father, but I'm not happy about some of the decisions I made at the time. Maybe I was depressed. Maybe I was going into my emotions, but life isn't always easy, and I'm going to get Alpha here, but stay tuned. I'm going to start getting on here live and just sharing my heart with you guys, and I feel that we all have a story, and if you're here listening, you have a story too. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me. Have a good one. Love y'all, and keep your head up, because life has its ups and downs. And my favorite scripture, I want to end with this, and I say it all the time, but it's in James chapter 1, and it says, "Consider it pure joy when trials of many kinds come against you, because it develops perseverance, and perseverance must take its course so you're mature and complete in every way." And I've known that scripture since I was in junior high, and there's a lot of things that I've had go through my life, but when my son passed, asking God, how do I consider this pure joy, was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And it's still a deep scar. But one thing that I know it's done for me, it's made me a better man. It's made me a better person. And I guess my goal in sharing my story is that, wherever you find yourself, whatever mistakes you find yourself in, or whatever stupid shit you've done, because I've done it too, you could change. But it takes work. It takes looking at yourself. So with that in mind, have a good one.